Maplewood awakens under the sun, its streets echoing with the innocent laughter of playing children and the cheerful songs of birds. The picturesque suburban street basks in tranquil daylight, an idyllic facade concealing the stories within. Each house stands as a silent sentinel, guarding secrets beneath manicured lawns and blooming gardens. The scene suggests a peaceful haven, where life unfolds gently amidst tree-lined avenues and comforting routines. The light dances through the leaves, casting shadows that hint at untold dramas waiting to emerge. In this suburban idyll, tranquility reigns supreme, a deceptive calm that belies the undercurrents of everyday existence. Clara Whitmore's house radiates charm under the sun's golden touch. Clara graces her garden with a warm smile, her presence as radiant as the blooming flowers around her. The sunlight dances on the leaves, reflecting the joy Clara finds in her tranquil haven. Her smile is like sunshine, illuminating the vibrant colors of her garden. In the heart of her kitchen, Clara orchestrates culinary magic for her upcoming dinner party. With practiced ease, Clara's hands become a blur as she expertly chops vegetables. Each chop resonates with the promise of a delightful feast. The rhythmic sound of the knife against the cutting board fills the air. Vibrant colors of fresh vegetables dance under the kitchen lights, a prelude to the evening's symphony of flavors. Clara smiles softly, anticipating the joy of sharing her creations with friends. The evening unfolds as guests begin to fill Clara Whitmore's living room, each arrival adding to the anticipation. Emily's husband, Peter, follows closely behind, stepping into the warmly lit space with a polite smile. Mrs. Green, the neighbor, enters with a casserole dish, her presence radiating warmth and familiarity. Daniel, Clara's new romantic interest, arrives, holding a bottle of wine. The dining room buzzes with the joyous sounds of a lively dinner party. Laughter and clinking glasses fill the air, creating a warm atmosphere. The murmur of conversation blends with the soft glow of flickering candles. The table is meticulously set, adorned with fine china and polished silverware. Every detail is perfect, enhancing the ambiance of the elegant gathering. In Clara Whitmore's elegant dining room, anticipation hangs in the air as she prepares to serve her signature dish. The savory aroma of wild mushroom risotto fills the room, a testament to Clara's culinary prowess. The guests eagerly await their first taste, their eyes sparkling with delight at the sight of Clara's creation. As the first bites are savored, a chorus of compliments erupts, celebrating Clara's exceptional talent. Clara beams with pride as her guests revel in the exquisite flavors of her wild mushroom risotto. A subtle change washes over the dining room, casting a shadow of unease. Emily's face loses color, a sign of growing discomfort. Peter's hand instinctively covers his stomach, a silent acknowledgement of distress. The shift in atmosphere hints at a hidden tension. A quiet moment of unsettling realization descends upon the room. In the dead of night, Emily is suddenly seized by violent convulsions. Her body writhes uncontrollably, succumbing to the unseen force. A cry of agony pierces the night as Peter collapses, clutching his stomach. Peter falls to the floor, overwhelmed by excruciating pain. The house falls silent, save for the sounds of their suffering. In the dim-lit room, Mrs. Green struggles for each breath, her frailty stark against the heavy atmosphere. A flurry of motion as paramedics surround her, their urgent efforts cutting through the stillness. Focused, the paramedics attach monitors, their faces etched with a determined resolve. Preparing an IV drip, a silent promise of life hangs in the balance. The room is awash with the quiet intensity of a life hanging in the balance. Each shallow breath, each calculated movement, a desperate race against time. Inside her disheveled home, Clara Whitmore's eyes reflect pure terror as she clutches her phone, her world teetering on the edge of chaos. Her voice trembles, each word a desperate plea as she speaks into the receiver, the weight of impending doom heavy on her shoulders. With mounting urgency, Clara cries out, 911, what's your emergency? Her frantic question hangs in the air, a desperate cry for help in the encroaching darkness. The antiseptic scent hangs heavy in the air as Daniel lies motionless in the sterile hospital bed. His grip tightens on the bedsheets, knuckles bone white against the pale fabric. A sheen of sweat glistens on his forehead, each drop a testament to his silent suffering. He grimaces, a wave of pain contorting his features as dizziness overwhelms him. The night shatters as police cars descend upon Clara Whitmore's residence, their sirens announcing an intrusion. The neighborhood witnesses the arrival of law enforcement, their presence casting long shadows across the silent street. The wailing crescendos as officers converge, their focus sharp, setting a tense stage. The house stands silent, shrouded in darkness, as the officers advance. The quiet facade of the house is threatened by the approaching figures of authority, ready to confront whatever lies within. In the dimly lit living room, Clara Whitmore maintains a facade of composure, facing the stern gaze of two police officers. Her voice steady, Clara offers a simple explanation. "I'm telling you, it was just food poisoning. A bad batch of oysters, perhaps?" The officers watch Clara intently, their eyes betraying skepticism. Clara's hands betray her inner turmoil, a slight tremor rippling through her fingers. The dim light casts long shadows, intensifying the atmosphere of suspicion and unease. Clara continues, her voice gaining confidence as she tries to convince the officers of her innocence. The harsh fluorescent lights cast a cold glare across the stainless steel autopsy table, highlighting the sterile white sheet that shrouds the body. The sheet is drawn back, revealing the chest cavity in a stark display. The chief medical examiner stands over the table, his gaze intense through magnifying glasses. He meticulously examines a sample, searching for answers in the silent depths of the morgue. He straightens, removing his glasses, and sighs wearily, the weight of his task heavy on his shoulders. Under the sterile glare of fluorescent lights, two detectives face Clara in the interrogation room. Clara sits calmly, hands folded neatly, a mask of composure veiling her true emotions. Detective 1 leans forward, his voice cutting through the silence. "We know you were there, Clara." Clara's eyes harden slightly as she retorts. "I wasn't. I've told you. I was at home all night." Detective 2 counters, his tone laced with accusation. "We have evidence to suggest otherwise. Witnesses, Clara. Witnesses who saw you near the scene." Clara's resolve wavers for a split second, but she maintains her innocence. "They're mistaken. I'm innocent." In a flashback, Clara sits hunched in dim light, her face illuminated by the cold glow of her laptop. She is absorbed in research, her intent focus hints at a dangerous curiosity. The laptop screen displays ominous search results. "How to identify death cap mushrooms." The words glow, revealing a plot thickening in the shadows. Bathed in the ethereal glow of her laptop, Clara sits hunched at her desk, a digital phantom in her own home. The screen's sinister query flickers ominously. "How much is lethal dose?" The question hangs heavy in the air, a silent echo of dark intent. The answer dances just beyond her reach, a dangerous secret waiting to be unlocked. In a flashback, Clara hunches over her laptop, her brow furrowed in intense concentration. The laptop screen displays chilling search results. Symptoms of mushroom poisoning. The glow of the screen illuminates Clara's face, highlighting her focused determination. The room is silent, save for the soft clicks of Clara's typing as she delves deeper into her research. A serene suburban street basks in the day's sunlight, manicured lawns stretching towards the horizon. A cluster of neighbors gathers, their hushed tones weaving through the peaceful air. Animated expressions flicker across their faces, hinting at secrets and concerns shared. The tranquility of Maplewood is subtly pierced by the undercurrent of their urgent discussion. The interrogation room is sterile and suffocating, illuminated by a dim light that casts long shadows. In the stark setting, a neighbor sits opposite a detective, the air thick with unspoken accusations. The neighbor leans forward, their face etched with the weight of memory as they begin to recount the past. The neighbor recalls, "I remember Clara saying she wanted to teach her sister a lesson." The neighbor's voice drops, revealing the chilling truth. She was really angry. The courtroom buzzes with anticipation as opening statements begin, the air thick with unspoken tension. Jurors sit with rapt attention, their expressions betraying nothing as they await the unfolding narrative. The prosecutor rises, his gaze sweeping across the room, a declaration of intent in his eyes. With a voice that cuts through the silence, the prosecutor declares, "This was not a crime of passion. This was premeditated murder." A hush falls over the courtroom as the gravity of the accusation hangs heavy in the air. The defendant sits motionless, his expression unreadable as the opening salvo is launched. The courtroom buzzes with anticipation, the air thick with unspoken tension as the trial unfolds under the solemn gaze of justice. A passionate defense lawyer gestures emphatically, his words echoing through the silent chamber as he fights for his client's fate. He argues that the defendant's actions were not of malice, but a desperate act driven by the primal need to survive, a plea that hangs heavy in the air. Sunlight pierces through the towering windows, casting long shadows that dance across the faces of the jury, each lost in contemplation. The weight of the decision bears down on the jurors, their tense faces betraying the immense responsibility they carry. In the heart of the courtroom, justice teeters on a knife's edge, the outcome uncertain as the final arguments conclude. Daniel lies motionless in the sterile hospital bed, his eyes burning with an unsettling intensity. His voice, a mere whisper, cuts through the silence. "She kept watching me eat. It was like she was waiting for something." His gaze intensifies, haunted by the memory of her watchful presence. The weight of unspoken dread hangs heavy in the air. In a packed courtroom, anticipation hangs heavy as the local mushroom expert adjusts glasses, ready to testify. Under the courtroom's harsh lights, every face is etched with suspense as the expert prepares to speak. The expert declares with conviction, "Clara could not have mistaken death caps. They're unmistakable." The pronouncement echoes through the silent courtroom, each word sharpening the tension. The courtroom holds its breath, awaiting the next revelation. The cold, sterile courtroom dissolves into memory, a vibrant forest bathed in sunlight. In the heart of the woods, young Clara kneels, her eyes scanning the forest floor. She gently examines a cluster of mushrooms, her touch delicate and knowing. Her fingers brush against a death cap, a silent omen in the tranquil scene. With a decisive motion, she plucks the deadly mushroom from the earth. The courtroom is filled with an unsettling quiet, punctuated only by the sterile hum of the environment. A series of life insurance policies are laid out on the table. Sunlight pierces through the tall windows, highlighting the dust motes dancing in the air. The arrangement of policies on the table is a silent accusation, each document a piece of a calculated scheme. The sterile environment amplifies the weight of the evidence, each policy a stark reminder of the stakes involved. Inside the courtroom, the defense attorney passionately addresses the jury, their words echoing through the solemn space. Sunlight pierces through the tall windows, casting long shadows and illuminating the gravity of the moment. Clara sits rigidly at the defendant's table, her face an impenetrable mask of stoicism. The defense attorney's voice rises with conviction. The prosecution has presented no credible motive. Why would Clara, a woman with no history of violence, suddenly and inexplicably harm Daniel? The courtroom falls into hushed silence as closing arguments conclude. A collective unease ripples through the jury as they rise, the rustle of fabric a subtle prelude to their departure. Anticipation hangs heavy as the jury files out, one by one, to begin their deliberation. The room is left suspended in a breathless pause, the weight of the impending verdict palpable. Every tick of the clock amplifies the mounting tension as the courtroom awaits the jury's decision. The jury room stands silent, the air thick with unspoken tension and the weight of decisions. Weak sunlight barely penetrates the grimy windows, casting long shadows across the weary faces of the jurors. Some jurors lean forward, their expressions intense, while others slump back, defeated by the gravity of their task. The exhaustion is palpable, etched deeply into every line and furrow of their faces. The atmosphere is heavy, a suffocating blanket of anxiety and anticipation. Each breath is a struggle, each moment an eternity as they grapple with the fate before them. The courtroom awaits, a place of grim justice, the air thick with unspoken fears. Clara sits alone, her face a mask, concealing the storm raging within. The silence of the courtroom amplifies every heartbeat, every breath. A sense of finality permeates the air as the moment of truth approaches. The courtroom is filled with a suffocating tension as the verdict looms over Clara. In the heart of the courtroom, Clara's fate hangs in the balance. The courthouse becomes the epicenter of a media storm, its entrance besieged by relentless reporters and their probing microphones. A relentless barrage of camera flashes transforms the scene into a high-stakes spectacle. The air vibrates with anticipation as the media awaits the unfolding drama. The courthouse looms large behind the frenzied crowd, a silent witness to the unfolding events. The scene pulsates with nervous energy as the world watches and waits. Clara sits in the dim solitude of her prison cell, a figure of utter desolation. Her vacant eyes stare blankly into the abyss, reflecting a profound sense of emptiness. The cold, harsh walls of the cell seem to amplify her isolation. In the oppressive silence, her despair hangs heavy, an unspoken testament to her inner turmoil. Maplewood suburban street basks in sunlight, a deceptive tranquility veiling the tension beneath. Residents cautiously emerge from their homes, their faces reflecting a mix of relief and apprehension. Children, happily ignorant, resume their games, their laughter a poignant contrast to the somber atmosphere. The scene is a vivid tableau of normalcy, struggling against an undercurrent of unspoken anxiety. The restaurant buzzes with activity during the lunch rush, a symphony of clanking dishes and lively chatter. A man, etched with the stories of countless meals, stands firm amidst the chaos. With a somber resolve, he begins to remove mushroom dishes from the menus, his movements heavy with the weight of necessity. Each dish removed is a quiet farewell, a personal sacrifice in the face of unseen threat. The finality in his actions speaks volumes, a culinary chapter closing with each menu amended. The courtroom appears diminished, a stark contrast to childhood memories, with light pouring through high windows. Dust motes dance in the air, illuminated by the sun's rays, as the weight of past grievances settles. Clara and Emily stand facing each other, their expressions etched with years of anger and resentment. A palpable tension fills the small courtroom as unspoken words hang heavy in the air between them. The silence stretches, amplifying the echoes of past conflicts and unresolved emotions. The courtroom pulses with unspoken tension as Peter stands, his features sharpened by fury and a sense of deep betrayal. Across from him, Clara remains an enigma, her expression veiled. As sunlight illuminates the dust dancing around her, Peter's voice cuts through the silence. "I accuse Clara of misusing family funds." The accusation hangs heavy in the air. The silent courtroom, a stage for family secrets and betrayals. The cold, harsh courtroom dissolves into a warm, intimate living room, where shadows dance with secrets. Mrs. Green lurks silently in the doorway, her face a mask of worry, a silent observer in her own home. Bathed in the soft glow of the lamp, Clara and Emily clash in hushed tones, their argument a tense ballet of unspoken truths. Their figures are defined by the lamp, each gesture, each glance, a loaded weapon in their private war. The heated words hang heavy in the air, unspoken accusations and buried resentments threatening to shatter the fragile peace. The room holds its breath, waiting for the explosion that seems inevitable, as the two figures remain locked in their silent battle. Daniel lies motionless in the sterile hospital bed, his skin pale against the crisp white sheets. Sunlight streams through the window, casting a warm glow on the room. The memory of the dinner party resurfaces, and he closes his eyes. A flicker of pain crosses Daniel's face as the haunting memory grips him. He winces, a silent scream trapped within him as the weight of the past crashes down. The evidence room gleams, a stark monument to order and the secrets it holds. In the foreground, a laptop sits innocently on a metal table, its screen a window into damning secrets. The screen glows, casting an eerie light on the incriminating words. Each search a nail in the coffin, whispers of guilt amplified in the sterile silence. In the sterile prison visiting room, Clara waits, her anxiety building with each passing moment. The cold, sterile room is filled with identical tables and chairs. A guard appears, escorting a mysterious figure towards Clara. The visitor's face remains hidden, their purpose shrouded in mystery as they approach. The Maplewood cemetery stands silent, a final resting place beneath a somber sky. Mourners cloaked in black gather, their faces canvases of grief, around 3 freshly dug graves. Emily's headstone is adorned with flowers, vibrant against the cold stone. Peter's grave is marked by a simple wooden cross, a stark symbol of loss. Mrs. Green's smiling photograph attempts to defy the heavy sorrow that permeates the air. In the dimly lit kitchen of Clara Whitmore's house, a sinister act unfolds. Clara carefully selects death cap mushrooms, their pale caps gleaming under the soft light. With a cold, calculated precision, she adds the deadly fungi to the creamy risotto. The risotto simmers, unknowingly infused with a fatal secret. The courtroom is filled with solemn faces, the air thick with unspoken tension. A lone juror feels the weight of their decision as sweat beads on their brow. The juror's gaze is fixed on Clara, their doubts deepening with each passing moment. Clara stands as the center of attention, her fate hanging in the balance. Inside the tense courtroom, a juror's fist crashes against the table, echoing the intensity of the moment. His face flushes with conviction, each word a hammer blow of certainty. Wild gestures punctuate his impassioned defense of the verdict. Each emphatic movement underscores the weight of his unwavering stance. The courtroom hangs in breathless anticipation, the jurors' fervor filling the space. Sunlight streams into the prison library, illuminating Clara as she immerses herself in forbidden knowledge. Engrossed, Clara studies the intricate details of poisonous plants, her brow furrowed in intense concentration. The sunlight seems to highlight the deadly beauty captured within the pages of her books. Each illustration is a step deeper into a dangerous world, meticulously recorded in her worn notebook. A worn notebook becomes the repository of deadly secrets, each entry a calculated risk. The library fades into background as Clara's focus tightens on the deadly knowledge before her. In the dense Maplewood forest, investigators delve into the undergrowth, their mission clear. Their focused gazes sweep across the forest floor, seeking the telltale signs of Clara's foraging. Each step is measured, each glance deliberate, as they piece together Clara's path. The forest whispers secrets, and they listen intently, hoping to uncover the truth. The search intensifies, every corner of the forest scrutinized for where Clara foraged mushrooms. In the dim hospital room, Daniel lies motionless in the bed, sweat glistening on his brow, haunted by specters only he can see. Tormented by the echoes of a disastrous dinner party, his mind becomes a battlefield of past regrets. The room is filled with the palpable tension of his inner turmoil, the silence amplifying the weight of his unseen struggles. Trapped in a replay of the disastrous dinner party, Daniel's sweat intensifies. The courtroom is heavy with silence, anticipation hanging in the air. A stern judge looms, his presence commanding as he prepares to deliver the final verdict. The gavel falls, its resounding echo signaling the end. Life, imprisonment. The words hang in the air, sealing a fate with the finality of stone. Clara Whitmore's house stands silent under the daylight. The empty house stands, a stark reminder of past sorrows. A vacant structure, haunted by echoes of what once was. The house looms, a silent testament to tragedy, a place of memories, now just an empty shell. The True Crime Forum ignites with controversy, a digital battleground where opinions clash in the dead of night. Defenders rally for Clara, their voices rising in passionate support. Opponents condemn Clara with equal fervor, their words laced with anger and judgment. Emojis explode across the screen, a chaotic ballet of hearts, angry faces, and question marks, visually representing the heated debate. In the sun-drenched kitchen of the past, Clara prepares a simple dish. She delicately tastes the risotto, a subtle smile gracing her lips. The taste evokes a moment of pure satisfaction, a fleeting memory of contentment in a life now long gone. In the solemn courtroom, a parade of character witnesses steps forward, their faces etched with sincerity. Each voice rises with heartfelt emotion, weaving a compelling narrative of Clara's boundless kindness and generosity. The courtroom listens intently as each witness paints a portrait of Clara's compassionate spirit. The collective testimony fills the room, illustrating Clara's profound impact on those around her. In the stark prison cafeteria, Clara sits isolated, a pariah among suspicious inmates. Hostile eyes bore into Clara, each gaze a silent accusation. She picks at her food, a subtle tremor in her hands revealing hidden anxiety. The weight of their judgment presses down, each glare intensifying her solitude. Despite her outward calm, Clara struggles to maintain composure under the crushing scrutiny. Maplewood's suburban street buzzes with children's laughter, yet an unspoken tension simmers beneath the surface. The idyllic scene is now tainted with an undercurrent of unease, casting shadows where sunlight should dance. The laughter rings hollow, a stark contrast to the subtle anxiety permeating the air. A storm cloud gathers, mirroring the growing sense of foreboding in the once peaceful neighborhood. The children's games continue, but the carefree joy is now tinged with an almost palpable sense of dread. In the stark hospital room, Daniel moves slowly, each step heavy with unspoken weight. The sterile white walls seem to press in, amplifying his solitude. He pauses at the doorway, a silhouette framed by the blinding light of the hallway. The doorway casts a shadow, obscuring his features yet revealing a profound inner transformation. His posture reflects a newfound strength, a quiet resilience forged in the crucible of his experience. In his eyes, a subtle shift, a quiet strength, a man reborn. In the hushed stillness of her home, Clara sits before the cold glow of a computer screen. With a determined click, she begins to erase her digital footprints. Each deletion is a step further into the shadows, obscuring her past. The glow of the screen reflects in her eyes, a silent witness to her secret actions. The search history vanishes, leaving behind a blank slate. Clara leans back, the room silent save for the hum of the computer. The courtroom is hushed, anticipation hanging thick in the air as the prosecution prepares to unveil their case. The prosecutor rises, their voice resonating with authority, promising to expose a web of deceit. With a dramatic gesture, they begin to outline a calculated scheme, each word painting a picture of cold premeditation. The prosecutor reveals Clara's meticulously planned dinner party, a seemingly innocent gathering now cast as a sinister alibi. The air crackles with tension as the prosecutor asserts that Clara crafted an elaborate alibi to mask her true, malevolent intentions. Sunlight streams through the stained glass, painting the chapel in vibrant hues. Clara sits among the inmates, head bowed in quiet contemplation. Her face, etched with hope and despair, reflects the weight of her inner turmoil. She seeks redemption in the solemn atmosphere, searching for a flicker of light. The sermon fills the chapel, a beacon of hope in a world of shadows. In the heart of Maplewood Forest, sunlight filters through the canopy, casting long shadows across the solemn memorial. The memorial stands as a silent sentinel, a tribute to those lost amidst the towering trees. The forest whispers their names, carrying memories on the gentle breeze. Nature stands still, honoring those who are gone but not forgotten. In the hushed stillness of the night, Clara is lost in memories. Clara's eyes reflect a poignant blend of longing and deep regret. The faded photograph pulls Clara back to a moment of shared innocence with Emily. The image of their younger selves stirs a silent storm within Clara's heart. Clara's regret deepens. In the packed courtroom, a profound silence descends, heavy with anticipation. Sunlight pierces through the high windows, spotlighting the tense faces that fill the room. Every spectator holds their breath, eyes fixated on the foreman. The defendant sits frozen, awaiting a verdict that could redefine their existence. In the stark prison cell, Clara sits on the edge of the cot, the fluorescent light casting long shadows. She hunches over a worn journal, her pen scratching furiously across the page, documenting her version of events. Her brow is furrowed in concentration, each word a carefully chosen weapon against the accusations. The rhythmic scratching of the pen and her occasional sigh fill the silence. Maplewood awakens, the suburban street now bathed in the gentle light of a new day. A lone car passes by, the subtle hum of its engine a reminder of life returning to its familiar rhythm. Children emerge, their laughter echoing through the neighborhood as they head towards the school bus stop. A figure pauses, a reflective gaze cast towards a particular house, the memory of the dinner party still lingering. Life resumes its course, yet the unspoken echoes of the past dance through the air, a subtle reminder of what once was. Sunlight bathes the sterile hospital room, illuminating the silent tension between Daniel and his therapist. Daniel remains rigid, his gaze averted, as if the shadows hold more comfort than direct confrontation. Across from him, the therapist waits patiently, her pen poised, ready to navigate the labyrinth of his mind. The notepad sits open on her lap, a silent invitation for Daniel to break the heavy silence. Dust motes dance in the sunbeams, each a tiny spotlight on the unspoken words hanging in the air. In the quiet room, the weight of unspoken words presses down, as heavy as the sunlight is bright. In the dimly lit kitchen of Clara Whitmore's house, shadows dance as Clara stands among scattered ingredients. Her hands move deliberately, sorting through a collection of wild mushrooms. Each mushroom is carefully chosen, her expression unreadable as she makes her selections. The night darkens, the ambiguity of her intentions adding to the tension. The courtroom holds its breath, sunlight cutting through the silence. A forensic expert stands at the witness stand, poised to reveal critical details. With gloved hands, the expert begins to detail the method of poison administration. The air thickens as the courtroom absorbs the expert's chilling explanation. In the stark prison yard, Clara walks alone, a solitary figure of desolation. Even among the hardened criminals, she is a pariah, an embodiment of isolation and rejection. Other inmates give her a wide berth, their eyes reflecting a chilling blend of fear and disgust. The prison yard becomes a stage for her silent suffering, each step marking her deeper descent into solitude. The air is thick with unspoken judgment, as Clara remains enveloped in her haunting solitude. At the threshold of Maplewood Forest, a weathered wooden sign looms, its stark warning piercing the tranquility. Sunlight filters through the dense canopy, casting an ethereal glow on the sign's grave warning. Nature's beauty belies the hidden dangers lurking within, a stark contrast to the forest's serene facade. The sign stands as a sentinel, its aged wood whispering tales of caution to those who dare to venture deeper. Maplewood Forest beckons with its enchanting allure, yet the sign's ominous presence casts a shadow of foreboding. In the hushed ambiance of her home, Clara meticulously prepares for a dinner party, her focus absolute. Each piece of silverware is carefully placed, reflecting Clara's unwavering attention to detail. The table transforms into a tableau of perfection under Clara's watchful eye, every element aligned. The scene is set, a stage for elegance and refinement, crafted by Clara's meticulous hand. The courtroom air crackles with tension as the inheritance dispute unfolds. Charts and documents meticulously illustrate Clara's spiraling debts. Each exhibit casts a stark light on Clara's dire financial straits. Whispers ripple through the gallery as the evidence mounts against Clara. The prosecution methodically tightens its grip, piece by piece. In the stark prison canteen, Clara sits alone, the clatter of other inmates fading into background noise. Before her, a tray of prison food sits untouched, an object of her deep suspicion. She eyes the food with distrust, her expression suggesting a battle between hunger and disgust. With a delicate touch, she pushes the food around with her fork, a silent act of defiance. The fork scrapes against the metal tray, the sound amplifying her reluctance. Despite her hunger, she refuses to take a single bite, her resolve hardening with each passing moment. Maplewood's idyllic suburban facade conceals the shadows of its past, as identical homes line the pristine street. A moving truck disrupts the tranquility, parked haphazardly before Clara Whitmore's old house. The quaint house, now painted a cheerful yellow, seems to sigh under the weight of its secrets. Boxes are stacked precariously, threatening to spill their contents onto the manicured lawn. Movers hustle back and forth, their energy a stark contrast to the house's somber history. Oblivious to the dark history, their actions inject a sense of new beginnings into the old house. Sunlight streams into the hospital room, illuminating the scene where Daniel sits pale, yet determined. Amidst the sterile environment, Daniel's fingers dance across the keyboard, a beacon of resolve in his bloodshot eyes. He works tirelessly, his laptop glowing, a stark contrast to his weakened body. I dedicate my life to raising awareness about food safety, he thinks, his mission an all-consuming fire. His commitment burns bright, a solitary flame against the encroaching shadows of illness. His mission consumes him, body and soul. In the radiant warmth of her home, Clara greets her guests with an enchanting smile. The air is filled with cheerful laughter and the delicate clinking of glasses, painting a portrait of perfect harmony. Clara basks in the joyous atmosphere, her heart swelling with pride at the compliments on her exquisite cooking. The room glows with contentment, a sanctuary of friendship and shared delight. Every detail, from the savory dishes to the sparkling beverages, contributes to an unforgettable evening of culinary bliss and camaraderie. The courtroom buzzes with hushed anticipation. Sunlight painting, dancing dust motes. Sunlight pierces the tense silence, illuminating every nervous glance. The defense gestures emphatically, their voice echoing through the chamber, demanding attention. Clara was simply trying to impress her guests with her culinary skills. The prison visitor's room is stark and sterile, a space devoid of warmth. Clara, in her orange jumpsuit, sits rigidly, a mask of practiced composure. Across from her, a journalist leans forward, eyes intense, poised to capture every word. The air crackles with unspoken tension, a silent battle of wills about to begin. The journalist's pen hovers over the notepad, ready to record Clara's every move. In this confined space, the weight of secrets hangs heavy, threatening to suffocate. Under the serene canopy of Maplewood's trees, a community unites in solemn remembrance. Faces bear the weight of unspoken grief, each gaze a testament to shared sorrow. Flowers, photos, and candles form a poignant memorial, each item a symbol of love and loss. The air hangs heavy with unspoken sorrow, a palpable reminder of the community's collective wound. In a dimly lit room, Clara moves with calculated grace, a sinister glint in her eyes. She pauses, the light catching the sharp edge of her smile. Wine flows, each pour measured, as Clara's dark intentions remain hidden. Guests raise their glasses, unaware of the night's impending darkness. Clara watches, her gaze intense, as the wine is consumed. The room hums with false cheer, a prelude to secrets and shadows. Sunlight pours into the courtroom, illuminating the gravity of the proceedings. The judge, a figure of unwavering authority, surveys the courtroom with a piercing gaze. Silence descends as the judge prepares to deliver her final statement, each word poised to shape destinies. With resolute conviction, the judge declares, "In this court, we are not merely arbiters of law, but guardians of justice." Clara sits on the edge of the bed, the cold, gray walls of her prison cell pressing in around her. A single, bare bulb casts stark shadows, deepening the sense of isolation. Lost in thought, Clara stares at the floor, her face a mask of worry and resignation. The silence of the cell amplifies her inner turmoil. Each shadow seems to whisper of lost hope and endless days. Clara's weary gaze reflects the crushing weight of her confinement. A tranquil suburban street basks in daylight. Trees sway gently. Manicured lawns and neatly arranged houses line the street. A sense of order permeates the scene. The branches form a canopy overhead, casting dappled shadows on the road. Despite the tranquility, a subtle tension lingers, hinting at untold stories. In the sterile confines of his hospital room, Daniel sits motionless on the bed, his wounded arms a stark testament to the brutal ordeal he endured. His gaze drifts toward the distant city, a sprawling landscape indifferent to his suffering. He stares out, haunted by the memory of his lost friends. He relives the brutal moments, the faces of those who vanished forever. A deep sigh escapes his lips, a silent testament to the weight of survivors' guilt. The city continues its relentless pulse, oblivious to the silent battle raging within the hospital walls. Inside, Clara Whitmore's dimly lit house, shadows twist ominously, hinting at hidden truths. The room emanates a chilling coldness, amplified by unspoken secrets that hang heavy in the air. Her voice cuts through the silence, resolute and cold. They deserved it. The shadows seem to deepen as her words echo, sealing the room in an atmosphere of haunting finality. The camera sweeps across the silent expanse of Maplewood Cemetery, where shadows dance among the gravestones. A chilling reminder of a deadly gathering. The gravestones of Emily stand stark against the quiet landscape. Peter's gravestone stands as a silent testament to a night of horror. Mrs. Green's gravestone completes the grim tableau, each marker a symbol of lives cut short. The air hangs heavy with unspoken tragedies, each stone a haunting echo of a dinner party gone fatally wrong.